Hey, Thunder fan. To the Fire Pizza and Pub Off the Tracks Coaches Show. As we break down this last weekend for your Bloomington Thunder, we also get you set for this upcoming weekend as Bloomington will take on the Green Bay Gamblers this Wednesday. It's kind of a rough road stretch for the Bloomington Thunder as they get going towards the playoff push, the final 7 games of the season. Will be in Green Bay on Wednesday, and then also Sioux Falls on Saturday or Friday, and then Saturday in Waterloo. We get another great for you here. Sorry for difficulties as we got started. We'll have Mitchell Matson as well as Logan Halliday on the mic here tonight. And then we'll also have with this guy on my right, assistant coach Harry Mahood as we get ready for this road trip. Buddy, appreciate your time onto the show here.
Always a pleasure, Brent.
Well, obviously the road trip is the biggest part right now, and let's kind of touch on the weekend that was though for Bloomington before we jump into the road trip and everything. And Team USA came back into town. It was the 17s this time. For the first time really since around January or December, I think was the last time the 17s were in town to take on Bloomington, and really a vast improvement for that organization as the years goes on. Just from your perspective, how much change do you see not only in that also in your organization where Bloomington has just changed?
Well, I guess if we look at the 17 program, it's always a great study and development when they gather the top, 45 players in Ann Arbor annually, and then especially when they bring in that young group and you watch those guys grow over the course of the year. And of course, the truth about a lot of this is certainly these are good young hockey players, but they're also young men who grow and develop quicker, than their peers, and it gives them an advantage, to play in that program, etc. But what you see is, of course, when you see athletes who are ahead of the curve with a lot of attributes, and then 4 months later, it was really quite remarkable growth and development change. And I thought a lot of times the physicality that they were putting up on the ice was quite demanding on our team. So, it's exciting to watch them, but it was really exciting to watch our team be able to grow as well, and with the integration of some new faces and some young players, and really played those guys strong the other night.
And as far as having the extra time too, you had the one game on the weekend, so you had the Friday night off, whereas the teams also played. But in that, it just seemed like, at the start of the game, the team really was firing on all cylinders, doing a great job on the defensive side of the puck. The Team USA has such breakaway capability with some of the skill on their team. How do you keep them contained in the third period where they come out and they start, playing at a little bit of a higher level? They start firing shots on Logan, and we'll talk to him a little later about that performance. But, how do you keep guys composed and keep them to the game plan in the third period there?
Well, I think part of your question relative to schedule. The interesting, if you listen to the Chicago Blackhawks, if they lose a game, the first thing they start questioning or talking about is how difficult the schedule is. The road trip, the back-to-back games, and one team will be in your city resting while you're on the road, and those type of things. And I think it's very similar to the SHL team. Go through a variety of stretches with their own schedules, and you see, the results, I think, are quite fascinating throughout the season. And we had the advantage, certainly, with the 17th playing in Dubuque the night before. It's a tough hockey club in Dubuque, and then, having to turn around against a fresh, hungry team. Those are difficult games to play. And so I think, you could see it in the first 10 minutes where we jumped on them 2-0 and held on. That was big. And certainly as that game went on, though, you could see the pace of play that they put us under. We began to tire a little bit. Certainly they started generating some chances, and we took some penalties, and Logan did a great job in net for us there Saturday night.
We're talking with assistant coach Harry Mahood here on the Bloomington Thunder's Off the Tracks Coaches Show from Firehouse Pizza and Pub in Uptown Normal. Pretty touch on it for just a hot second with Logan Halliday between the pipes, but also Mitchell Matson getting his first goal in the USHL career. And just going to talk about those two guys and what not only that they bring to the organization right now, but now in the future as well, as Mitchell's a young guy and a future prospect for not only North Dakota but this hockey team moving forward.
Yeah, I've been telling a lot of people that they should probably get their picture taken with Mitchell Matson. And, of course, they'll be able to say they knew him when, or they played with him, or they coached him, etc. He's a special person. and he's a special player. And when you work with him and his family, who are very supportive of his life, both academically and athletically, you get to see kind of an athlete that's a total package. And the thing that you like about Mitchell is that the special players, you tell them one thing once, and you don't have to tell them anymore. And I think, that's when you have a real special player and athlete, and that's the way Mitchell is with his play. And he's come into a tough situation. Not many players can come in as a young player, integrate into a system, and the next thing you know, they're playing center ice so you do a 7th Saturday night and scoring the winning. It just shows you the remarkable aptitude he has for the game. So, obviously, a real joy to coach, and I'm certain the fans are going to love it if he's involved with our program. The other gentleman you spoke of there was Logan Halliday. We've been a benefactor of his play the last handful of games that he's played. He's given us those saves and that poise, and it's a difficult league to play in. There's ebbs and flows during the games and penalties and all sorts of things that go on. But I'm really proud of his development because he's gone through some challenges as a young player as well, where we haven't done our job in front of him, and he's had to deal with more than he should have. So to have him come out on top, and it's great to see where our team is playing well in front of him, and when we need him back there, he's done the job.
Everything's starting to pull together for Bloomington with only 7 games to play. We only have 1 game at home as we go through the final stretch of the season, and it's the season finale. So on a 6-game road stretch here coming up for the next 3 weeks, and then we'll be back at home on April 11th. We'd love to have you out at that game, 7 o'clock start. It is Fan Appreciation Game. The Fan Appreciation Game is Bloomington takes on the Green Bay Gamblers. But first, let's talk about the road stretch here now. We got 3 games in the course of, I think it's 4 days with Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday coming up. First one in Green Bay, then we take pretty much the biggest road of all and move Green Bay to Sioux Falls and then down to Waterloo. Obviously, the scheduling with the road games towards the end of the season is a little bit tough on a team, but at the same time, it's got some ability to pick up points here as we move towards the end of the year, right?
Yeah, when you're on that bus, we were talking there a couple of weeks ago. Fargo went all the way out to Youngstown, and we talked about how many teams they had to pass to get out to Youngstown. And when you're on the bus, you don't think about those things too much relative to the schedule. But it's a very challenging end of the season schedule for us. There's no question about it, having 6 consecutive road games and a great challenge. But the rest, when you're on the road, as coaches, we find that it can be a little bit easier. And what the easier part of it is not a lot of distractions. We had a great weekend with our families, our player families that were in this weekend, and all sorts of people here to support them. The issue you have a little bit is it creates a lot of distractions, and the kids get pulled in a lot of different directions and probably aren't eating the way they normally do, resting the way they normally do, and preparing the way they normally do. When you go on the road, that's the distinct advantage is you get to take all those distractions and put them aside and be able to prepare and give your best effort. Now, that being said, I think we've been talking a lot as an hockey club the importance of the stretch, firstly, to make a final playoff push, and secondly, there's a lot of guys on this team that have a lot of things that get done. They're working towards their school situation, training opportunities for themselves, and we got guys in this program that are going to school, but they want to be players at the next level, want to get their work and develop and grow. So, with that, there's a lot of those guys. They should. I'm excited to play with Green Bay and Sioux Falls and Waterloo.
And that's one of the things that is about this league. There's never a day off, even if a team does, eventually get towards the end of the season and 4 games out, they're technically eliminated from the postseason. They're still searching for that college commitment. They're still searching to be better players. Always, and I think that's another good thing about this. You're never going to get an off day from these guys, at least putting forward their best effort, right?
Well, it's interesting. They have a lot at stake, and they understand that. And I'm always impressed by the temperance of these athletes today because it's a sport that's an 11.5 months a year commitment, and they do. They don't only bring it during the season, but they're putting the time in off the season. And there's a lot of hockey commitments that go along with that to some of these young players with the national festivals with USA Hockey. And we've got our main camp in the middle of summer and all sorts of things that are going on. So these guys, they don't really get a break, and so the type of commitment that they put out every day is very impressive.
So we're talking, we kind of touched a little bit about the off season, and I think that's one thing that we'll be able to talk about, not only for the players, but also for the players going through the first off season for this program. Bloomington in the first year in USHL, a lot didn't be done in here with the full first off season for this club. I think the first question is, how do you basically approach going into draft and starting to put everything together in this first end of the season into the second year?
Yeah, I think the first part of it is, we keep our focus on today and certainly the players that are within our program. Now, one of the interesting conversations from the weekend, for example, was with Tarek Baker's family, and his mom said, what should Tarek be thinking about this summer and sorts of things. And I think she was a little bit surprised that, one of the things he needs to do is relax and have fun. We know that he's a guy that's going to do all the things that are necessary to be a successful player and getting stronger and faster and quicker and all that. But they really have to take care of their bodies and their mental aspects so that they're energized to play, the schedule September through, end of April. That's what those guys have to do. So they've got that work to do, and we'll meet with those guys whenever the end of the season is and give them some objective on our side to help them grow. But then we're in that situation where we've got a big promoting job on our hands, and give Coach Williams, General Manager Williams, a lot of credit. He's got about putting a real good group together this year, and one that'll come back, and also putting the organization into a position where we have a lot of healthy draft picks in the Phase 1 draft and the Phase 2 draft. And then, I can't say enough about the unsung hero in our organization, Dan Jewell, who's been doing an outstanding job out there identifying, recruiting, and, building that part of our scouting situation. And he has about 12, guys that are out there working under him on behalf of the Bloomington Thunder. And if you couple that with our, our working relationships with the Everett Silvertips and the Amarillo Bulls, we take a worldwide approach to what we're doing because we recognize how serious this league is relative to how teams procure their players and how they develop them. So we know it's a big job and a big task, and we take it serious.
And we know how important it is to do the scouting, and that's exactly where Coach Williams and Coach Jewell are leaving right after the game the other night. And we'll catch up with them on the road trip as well. So finishing up here with assistant coach Harry Mahoney, you get finished up this season. Also, be sure to tweet some of your questions. Go ahead and tweet them out to us using our handle at BLM Thunder or the hashtag Off the Tracks, and you can also send to us about any of the guys that are coming on the show here tonight. We'll have Mitchell Matson coming up in a bit and Logan Halliday. But how do you kind of, as we start to round out this year, what's been your overall impression of how this team has done from start to finish here as we're going through and the small improvements that need to be made here in the future?
Yeah, I think the interesting thing, I was talking with a few players today, and we're working towards some ends with them. But, one of the things to be really successful is you really need a strong leadership group, and you need a culture within your team that, has some history to it. And I think one of the disadvantages when you're an expansion team, given the type of formula we had, you're not always able to have that leadership and have that culture established within your locker room. And, of course, that was our greatest challenge this year was, working to service athletes individually, but also, having leaders emerge or possibly put leaders in situations like Matt Benson and Ryan Galt, where they had to really, evolve as people and as leaders. And we asked a lot of them, and they did a lot. And so what we hope is that type of, the people that have kind of been through this first year of culture building have great influence on Jalen Smerrick and Van Bar and Tarek Baker and Logan Halliday, these types of people in our locker room, because we look to build on all the hard work that's happened this year so that when we go through a few of those little valleys that we went through this year, maybe it's a 2-game valley, not a 6-7 game valley like we went through a couple times. And honestly, those 2 little valleys hurt us this year to be out of the playoff picture. So pretty remarkable for an expansion team. It gets you in the woulda, shoulda, coulda plan, but we're still looking at it hard. But I think those are the things that we'll hopefully have in our locker room. It's just not cool. It's not just having good players and good goaltending, etc. It's really having the leadership that can take care of those issues and rally their peers when it's necessary, and continue to build on that culture. And I think when you look at different teams in the league, the ones that have been successful on an annual basis, like Dubuque and Cedar Rapids, these are things that they have deeply instilled in their program. You have to admire them for the type of people that run those programs and what they put into it. And they're certainly that's the way Coach Williams runs his programs, and so we'll be looking to build on all of that.
Well, Hoodie, I appreciate the time here. Best of luck in the rest of the season. If we don't catch up with you until the end of the year, best of luck in the offseason as well.
Thanks, Brent.
That's Assistant Coach Harry Mahud. We'll be right back in just a couple of seconds. We'll have the goaltender, Logan Halliday, up on the mic for you here on the Off the Track Coaches Show from Firehouse Pizza and
I'm going
Pub.
to fade this nice sign in there.
There we go. Visit us today at JaguarLandRoverArea.com. For your next trip to Bloomington Normal, be sure you book your event at the official host hotel of the Bloomington Thunder. 5,000 square feet of flexible meeting space for your next corporate or social event. Not to mention our various suites, perfect for corporate trips or leisure. Our award-winning hotel is located on the east side of 3202. Your next trip. The Holiday Inn, the official hotel. Hey, Thunder fans, welcome back inside the Off the Track Show, weekly coaching show here from Firehouse Pizza and Pub in Uptown Normal. As we are finishing up the season here, we've got a couple weeks left to go in the year and a nice stretch of road games for Bloomington. Catch all the games live on by tuning to our Bloomington Thunder's broadcasting network. That is through portal.stretchinternet.com/WJBC. And, of course, all of our games always available on fasthockey.com if you'd like to view them. We have another great segment here coming up for you, as we'll have Mitchell Madsen on the mic in a little bit. Thank you very much to Assistant Coach Harry Mahud, who was on our first segment. And now we got this guy, the goaltender for your Bloomington Thunder, Logan Halliday. Nice weekend for you. You picked up the win against the Team USA U17s. And not the first time you picked up the win against the U17 program. I think it was back in Bloomington, one of the games, and also in Ann Arbor. So just a nice year against the USA program for you.
Yeah, we've been able to get a couple wins against the 17s. They're obviously they're a highly skilled team, but at the same time they are very young. So we feel that as a more experienced team with older guys and more developed and stronger guys, that we're able to put up a good battle against them. And we've done well against them this year, and it was a good win for us at home this past weekend, and get 2 points so we can keep climbing the standings there and keep making our push for the playoffs. So.
And obviously that push for the playoffs, there is some space to go in that whole segue. But as far as the organization, you're a guy who made the USHL this year for the full time of this season, and just making the move and also working with the first year organization. There's a lot of things that can be said for development, not only of the players, the organization, but yourself as well. It's been impressive to see from the beginning of the year to now, how much you've learned. And has that been the case for you? Are you seeing just kind of the development from the beginning of the season to now?
Yeah, definitely. I think a lot of guys individually who came from different leagues to make the jump to the USHL have seen big developments in their game. As a team, also we've developed a lot from the beginning of the year. We're sticking to our systems where we're playing a more sound game as a group, but definitely individually, I think a lot of guys have adjusted and made the change to the USHL, and it's a big change from different leagues. But obviously we have guys here that are putting the work in. Coach Williams and Coach Mahut have been great here, and they've given us every opportunity to succeed. So we're grateful that we're here in this first organization, and obviously, like you said, we're not where we want to be as far as playoffs go. We put ourselves in a little hole here, but for a first organization, I think we're happy with where we're at. We're not satisfied with where we're at, obviously. We're still working hard to make the playoffs here, and if that's not the case, then we're getting ready for next year, and we're gonna be ready to go next year with a better and bigger team, and yeah, so no, I think the jump to USL has been big for a lot of guys, and as a first organization, I think that we've made our mark here, and it'll be a bright future for us.
So let's kind of do the rewind. We're talking with the goaltender Logan Halliday here for your Bloomington Thunder on the Opposite Tracks Coaches Show from the Firehouse Pizza and Pub in Uptown Normal. And Logan, kind of rewind this, and also rewind just everything that's gone on with the season and everything. And for you, you were at Carolina Hurricanes prospect camp earlier in the year, and I know we talked about it way back when, and you learn a lot just from being an organization, being part of that organization. You're from Cary, North Carolina, real close there. So how much were you following Carolina beforehand? Were you a big Carolina Hurricanes fan growing up?
Yeah, I've always been a Hurricanes fan. Obviously it's my hometown team, so I'm a little partial to them, but yeah, but it's always been a team that I've loved watching. In 2005-2006 season, they were lucky enough to win the Stanley Cup there, and I think that brought a lot of attention to the down south hockey down there, and brought a lot of attention to an area where hockey wasn't too popular before. So yeah, I've always been a big Hurricanes fan, and it was such a great experience to be able to attend their development camp and be right there at home at the same time. So yeah, it was a great experience.
Now, what you learned there, it kind of dives in, and I've talked to a bunch of other guys. You learn little tiny things. Have you been able to adapt those little things that you pick up from camps and start to kind of integrate them into your daily life and your daily routine?
Yeah, definitely. At the NHL level, everyone's a pro. So definitely learning how to manage myself and my body and everything along those lines was a big improvement I made there, and I learned a lot, took a lot from the coaching staff and from from everybody at that camp. So it's definitely something that you take with you when you also make the jump to the USHL and able to use going forward there. So you definitely learn a lot at the NHL level and at those camps when you get the opportunity to, and yeah, you try to bring as much as you can with you going forward.
So we're moving it final stretch. Season always trouble on the road as far as trying to manage your time and figure it out. How does it come down to the players and trying to figure out exactly how to approach the road game? I know everybody has it different, and everybody's got teams have got theirs. So how does it approach? I guess for you personally, and then each guy individually, kind of figure out what to do on the road.
Yeah, like you said, every guy's different. Every guy does different things, but for the most part, we try to keep it all the same. Pregame meals around the same time, get to the rink around the same time and stuff. So, obviously, Coach Williams and Coach Mahut do a great job managing our schedule as far as that goes, and making sure everything stays the same, so nothing's too unfamiliar for us. But, at the same time, personally, we try to, mentally prepare throughout the day and get as comfortable as you can, and realize that you're going into somebody else's barn to play that night. So, it could be a tough atmosphere, or even so you try to make sure your own game is there and take care of yourself. And if everyone takes care of their own game, then the team will play well and the team will come together there. So it's all about managing your mental as well as your physical state, and just trying to stay on top of it and making sure everything's in check before you get to the ring.
Now we work through routines with guys, and I know a lot of guys have their own routines when they're going through the day. Some guys have superstitions, and I know when we were going we did a tour a couple of weeks ago, and it was the four guys down in the locker room kind of sold you out as having more of the rituals than most guys. Is there anything in particular that you've got to do before a game that is kind of a make or break it, that you have to do this before you get ready for the game?
I don't think that there's anything that's a make or break, but there's definitely things that obviously I have a routine and things that I like to do that make me feel comfortable that kind of prepare myself for the game. But I don't know. I guess the big thing is I have this thing with gum where like I always have to be chewing gum or whatever. So I don't know. I don't know what it is, but I don't know if that's pretty weird. But, I mean, everyone has little quirks or stuff. The same spot, listen to the same music or whatever. So everyone's a little different, but I guess I'm just a little more different.
Got the gum. Like that's one thing. Sorry to put you on the spot, but I know everybody does. Shane Bednard always tries to find the perch in the arena or the highest points, and Ryan Galta every once in a while will have his own little spot that he goes, and everybody does that. They find their own way to get ready for a game, and that kind of comes with the territory of just being comfortable, and especially on the road, that's one of the biggest parts of it, right?
Yeah, exactly. You have to, like I said, it's about managing yourself mentally as well as physically, and you just have to try to make everything, kind of like the same as back home. So you try to manage those things and you control what you can, but if something's out of your control, you just try to let it go and let it not bother you too much. But for the most part, you just try to keep things the same when you get to the rink. Do the same thing, do the same way. You tape your stick or whatever, you try to do it the same way and keep it all similar, so nothing's out of the ordinary or unfamiliar to you.
We're talking to Logan Halliday, goaltender for your Bloomington Thunder. As we're going through the Off the Track show, you can definitely tweet in some questions by using our Twitter LM Thunder, or you can also using the hashtag Off the Track. So we have always accepting questions here on the show. And as we kind of move towards the end of the season, Logan, I'm not sure exactly where the college game lies for certain guys. Even your guy committed to me. Talks with them at times. For you moving forward to getting yourself prepared for the college game, whether it's this offseason, whether next offseason, or whatever the case may be. How do you kind of go about the rest of the year and also the offseason to try and get yourself ready for not only the second UNSHL season maybe, but also getting prepared for the college game?
Yeah, I think. Kind of like you touched on, the preparation is huge, and making sure you're ready to go in and ready to go in and make an impact as a big time player there. So, but I mean, while we're here, we're each and every one of us, whether we're committed or not, we're focused on getting the job done here in Bloomington before we move on to college. So, our main focus is day by day here in Bloomington, but moving forward into the summer and stuff, you just try to train as hard as you can and make sure you're healthy and everything's in check for when you go into college, because that's another big jump there. And you want to be, like I said, you want to go in, you want to make an impact right away and be a big time player there. So you just try to manage everything and get bigger, stronger, faster, everything you can in the off season to make sure that you're the best you can be when you either come back to the USHL or you go to play college hockey. So.
Well, the March Madness brackets are out for the NCAA, but it's also for the guys downstairs. It becomes even more so because the hockey brackets are now out, and you're starting to kind of piece together where everything lies. And there's certain guys who have a lead to schools and whatnot. But how do you kind of approach watching this tournament as it starts to develop? Allegiance to Minnesota, and Mitchell's also got allegiance to North Dakota. So how do you kind of go about watching the games now?
Yeah, a couple of guys that are committed to a couple of schools that are in the tournament, kind of go at it and chirp each other a little bit in the locker room and just have some fun with it. Obviously, it's where we're going to go to school in the future. So obviously, we want to see our own do well. We want to see our own win the championship. But at the same time, it's we're still here. We're not there yet. So we try to make light of it and enjoy watching the games. And guys will get together and watch the games at somebody's house or just kind of wherever they can try to get together and make some light of it, have fun with it. So everyone's definitely paying attention to it, but we're just trying to enjoy it now and just watch it play out.
I'm sure the hotel will be buzzing on this weekend. Well,
yeah, that's right.
Logan, I appreciate the time. Best of luck this weekend and throughout the year as we head towards the playoff team, right?
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for having me.
No problem at all. Logan Halliday, the goaltender for your Bloomington Thunder. We're going to take a quick timeout. When we come back, we'll have our third segment. It's Mitchell Matson coming over for his first appearance on the show after 6 games in the USHL. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere right here on the Off the Tracks Coaches Show from Firehouse Pizza and Pub. It's the third and final segment here of the Off the Tracks Coaches Show from Firehouse Pizza and Pub. We had a great one for you. A big thank you to Logan Halliday, who was just on the mic, and also assistant coach Harry Mahood, who was on the mic here tonight at Firehouse Pizza and Pub. And now I got to look at this guy to my right. It's Mitchell Matson. It was the first overall pick by the Bloomington Thunder in the USHL draft in Phase 1 way back when. That was a long time ago. Playing in his first games with the Thunder after the high school season. Welcome to the team, and welcome to the show here, Mitchell.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
So obviously, making the move from the high school game here, coming up to Bloomington and through 6 games, first and foremost, how's the adjustment been?
Yeah, it's been a little tough. The guys are obviously a lot bigger, faster, stronger, but you know, as it's going by here, I think I'm starting to acclimate to it pretty well, and I've been learning a lot along the way, and so it's been good.
Now, the difference between high school, not only on the ice, but also off the ice, it goes completely different. You're in the classroom every day for high school. When you come out here, it's more of an online class. You're working out a lot more and doing certain things. How much has the game changed? Great. It is Minnesota hockey, so it's a little, Northeast hockey, but at the same time, how is it different in that regard for you to manage your time?
Yeah, I mean, I still have a full set of classes here. I'm just going to do them online. I was fortunate enough to have teachers who were willing to do that with me. But I mean, it's definitely a lot different back in high school with all the buddies that you grew up with, and coming out here, you meet new guys, and it's always fun to do that too. But I mean, it's definitely a lot tougher out here. I've been taught to take care of my body a little bit better out here. I mean, a lot of the guys have been helpful.
And one good thing about hockey, you walk into a room and you get greeted by basically 21 new friends every time you walk into a new locker room as well. We're talking with Mitchell Matson for your Bloomington Thunder. Yes, going through those first games where you did pick up a nice little milestone, picked up the puck, wrapped some tape around it. First goal in the USHL. How did it feel to get the marker? I know during the game, you're saying it was a little greasy goal, but it was counting the singles goal, right?
Yeah, I don't take it on getting goals. I had a few chances in the previous game, so it was finally going to get more mathematical.
And when we were watching those games and just seeing the ability to have some chances down low and working with line mates as well, how do you kind of acclimate yourself, and is there butterflies when pucks on your tape and you're down low trying to work around with goaltenders?
I mean, the first few games, you're just trying to feel out. Usually I'm fine with the puck. I mean, it's definitely a lot faster, so you got to think a lot faster and quicker. So that's probably the biggest difference for me.
So also, a guy moving from Grand Rapids to come down here and finishing up, you change not only a place, but you're also changing teams, getting acclimated with organization, billet family. Everything's kind of different. How has it been off the ice to going through a different?
It's been a lot different when you're here than where I'm from. I was fortunate enough to be with great Bill parents and pretty good brother sitting next to me.
We didn't do one of these. He's happy to be here, Jeremy Davies.
But yeah, I mean, it's been great. I've had a good transition to here.
And also, you come into a new organization and new coaches and everything. And obviously, there's some there's some hope for you as well, and some positive, I guess, reinforcement for you coming into this year, being the first pick in an organization and moving forward. Knowing that there's confidence in you going forward, and it seems like everything's been going well as well, working with the coaches and really being in the lineup every time since you've been here, right?
Yeah, I mean, the coaches obviously have high expectations along with other people. So far it's been good though. I mean, like you said, it's kind of you're kind of put on a higher pedestal for this one, but I mean it's been fun.
So, and then moving forward to, with this organization, first year, there's a future too. And at the same time, high school eligibility is not up. There's decisions to be made in off season, everything like that. And granted, there's a lot that comes from the coaching staff and everything. But how do you approach the off season? Get yourself built up a little bit more, also, and starting to kind of ready yourself up for that first full U.S.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of up in the air right now. I'm one to decide. I'm just going to take it as it goes. But the off-season, obviously, you have to get a lot bigger and faster and stronger, which I found out playing against all these guys. So that's kind of my main goal coming into it. Kind of undecided right now.
We're talking with Mitchell Matson, forward for your Bloomington Thunder. As we finish up the season, it's going to be a nice little road stretch, and one that we haven't really that you haven't really seen too much. Is I think one road game far since you've been here, so a whole different animal. As far as going on the road, how do you kind of prepare yourself, and have you kind of talked to the guys about how to work with the road and being in hotels and things like that, or does it just kind of come naturally from youth hockey in high school?
Well, the furthest I've ever had to travel in high school hockey is 3 hours, which was what the other one was. So I'll just kind of follow the flow of what the other guys do now. Just follow what they do, and yeah.
Just trying to figure it out.
Just go with the flow.
And I think that's one thing too. You start to kind of get things, and it really is kind of fascinating. Moving forward, now you get to stand for this road trip. Does it help prepare you also for next year or the year after when you do make the first push into the USHL, and you can kind of be now ready because you've been acclimated to it already?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, if you can get a good routine down, that helps a lot. So I'll see how it goes for the first time. It should be interesting.
So we talked a little bit about it as well with how the NCAA tournament. You're a guy who's committed to North Dakota, and we talked to some of the younger guys as well, Tarek Baker, Van Park, about committing it early. Guys like Roman Lambden, Blake Gover don't have that as they're going later into their USHL. They're both first years in the USHL, but they're also 95s and 96. So for you, what was the decision to make the commitment at that age already?
I kind of knew I wanted to go there ever since I was young. I mean, being from Minnesota, I grew up watching the Gophers a lot, but as soon as I visited there for the first time, actually the first time was when I was really young, and some elite thing or I don't remember, but we got to practice there and I fell in love. I just, if you want to go there, it's not, there's no reason to leave.
And when you're also, hockey's really different anymore, where you go out and you're playing in different organizations. You don't know exactly when you're going to make the jump, but for most kids, it is that junior year of college that you decide to make the commitment and go somewhere. So for you, is it out of the ordinary looking at some of your friends from school saying like, oh, I'm thinking about going here for college?
Not really. I mean, there's Avery Peterson, a guy who's on the team last year who is going UNO right now. Jake Bishop, who is at the U right now. I mean, it's not that unorthodox for people to do that from high school, but not a whole lot of people go to North Dakota, so that was a little bit.
That was a nice little bump.
Yeah.
So as you're watching now the stretch, we did get to take a look at some brackets. And you probably have some nickels for North Dakota.
Yeah, I didn't have them winning the whole thing.
Now, does that give you a boost to see how the organization is building up and starting to see where it's going to develop in the near future, and not only with commitments, but where it is right now as an organization?
Yeah, for sure. It's a very exciting organization to watch. And, I'm excited to go there whenever that is.
So now as we finish up the post, we're finishing up here, by the way, with Mitchell Matson, the first overall pick for your Bloomington Thunder, coming through 6 games in the USHL already. Final playoff push for this team. Odds are a little off right now. I need some help getting towards that push. But even after the fact, we mentioned with Coach Mahud, there's still all that room for development. Is that kind of interesting to this league rather than anything else that you've experienced where every day is a grind of getting better, and there's never really an off day, right?
Yeah, exactly. We're treating it just like you do normally, but I think it's high expectations, like you said, and I think a lot of the guys are buying into that.
Well, Mitch, I appreciate the time here. Best of luck going down the stretch, and we'll eagerly be checking the Twitter dials to see what goes on here in the near future. All right.
Yep. Thanks for having me.
That's Mitchell Manson for your Bloomington Thunder as we finish up the track show from the Firehouse Pizza and Pub. Big thank you to Harry Mahud, as well as Logan Howley and this guy to my right, Manson and Frank Messi here. So long until next week, definitely stick around for this week. They will be in Green Bay, and then Friday we'll be Saturday in Waterloo. Check those out on the Broadcasting Network, NASDAQ.com and WAV.com. Until then, have a good night, everyone. We'll try to keep rolling as Bloomington looks to make it 3 in a row this Wednesday. We'll talk to you later. Have a good night.